1909, Russia broke it. Its economy was collapsing, corruption was everywhere, and the government losing control. Then suddenly, a tired and sick president, Boris Yeltsin, made a shocking decision. He handed power to a man nobody really knew. His name? Vladimir Putin. At the time, the West had one question: who is this man? And how long will he last? No one knew that this quiet former intelligence officer would go on to reshape global politics for decades. He was a former KGB agent, calm, calculated, ruthless when needed. When he came to power, he understood one thing: if Russia was to survive, he had to take control completely. In the 1990s, Russia's wealth, oil, gas, minerals had fallen into the hands of powerful oligarchs. They weren't just businessmen, they could control politics. Putin, a choice: stay out of politics or go to prison. One by one, they disappeared from power. The Kremlin, his. Then came Chechnya, a small region, but a massive threat to Russia's unity. The first war had been a disaster, but Putin refused to lose again. He launched a war. The capital, Grozny, was devastated. The West criticized him for human rights abuses, but Putin didn't care. To him, it was about survival. And from that moment on, the world began to realize this man. 2001. The President of the United States, George W. Bush. After the 9/11 attacks, the world stood still, and Putin was one of the first leaders to support America. For a moment, it looked like a new partnership was forming, but it didn't last. In 2003, the United States invaded Iraq. Putin saw something deeper. To him, this wasn't just about Iraq. It was a warning. If America can change regimes there, what's stopping them from doing it somewhere else, maybe even closer to home? Then came 2008, Georgia. Putin knew America was tied down in Iraq and Afghanistan, so he moved. Russian forces crossed the border. Within days, Russia achieved its objective. The United States didn't respond militarily, and the message was clear. Putin was not afraid to challenge the West. Then came a new leader, Barack Obama. He wanted a reset, a fresh start, but Putin wasn't interested in forgetting the past. 20. Ukraine. Amid political chaos, Russia moved quickly and took Crimea. No full-scale war, no long battle, just a swift strategic takeover. The world was shocked. Obama responded with sanctions, but avoided direct conflict. And once again, Putin moved forward. Then came one of the most controversial chapters: Donald Trump. The 2016 election shook America. U.S. intelligence agencies, including the CIA and the FBI, concluded that Russia attempted to interfere. Hacks, leaks, and social media manipulation created a new kind of invisible warfare. In 2018, Trump and Putin met in Helsinki. They spoke privately for more than 2 hours. No advisors, no records. No one knows exactly what was said. At a press conference, a reporter asked, "Do you trust your intelligence agencies or President Putin?" Standing beside him, Trump replied, "My people, it was Russia." President Putin, it wasn't. In that moment, Putin didn't need weapons. It was a psychological victory, but the story, one-sided. Trump imposed sanctions, challenged the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and pressured NATO allies to increase defense spending. It was a relationship filled with contradictions. Then came 21. A familiar figure returned to the White House, Joe Biden, an experienced leader who had watched Putin for years. This time, the stakes were higher. In February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. Putin believed it would be over in days. Kyiv would fall, the government collapse, but it happened. Instead of sending troops, Biden sent weapons: Javelin missiles, HIMARS systems, Patriot Abrams tanks. These weapons changed the battlefield. Russian slowed. The war didn't end, but it didn't go as planned. At the same time, an economic war began. Russian banks were cut off from SWIFT. Hundreds of billions in reserves were frozen. Western companies began leaving Russia. Pressure came every direction. Putin wanted NATO to weaken, but the opposite happened. Finland, NATO. Sweden, NATO. The alliance grew stronger and moved closer closer to Russia's borders. Then in 2023, something unexpected happened. Yevgeny Prigozhin launched a rebellion. His forces moved toward Moscow. For the first time in decades, Putin looked vulnerable. The rebellion ended quickly, but the image of absolute control was shaken. Today, he remains in power. After changing the constitution, he could stay in office until 2036. Meanwhile, Donald Trump could return to power again. He claims he could end the war in 24 hours. But this is not just a war between Russia and Ukraine. This is a battle of power, strategy, and influence. 5 American presidents have come and gone, but one man is still standing, Vladimir Putin. And the question remains, in the end, who will win, the United States or Putin?